So it's been a minute since I've done a longer video for the greenhouse, and we're already well into summer 2025's season. So I figured I should show what's kind of going on, issues I'm running to, other issues I'm not, that kind of stuff. Well, firstly, I've been starting to grow a bunch of these guys. These are a sapote known as canistels. I got a bunch of them that I've just started. There's a bunch of seedlings kind of like all over the place. I'm just trying to get started. They don't necessarily are going to go into this system, but I want to get them ready for other systems, other people's systems and whatnot, you know. But everything seems to be growing pretty well. The ants and the mealybugs are still just like out of control. We're about to get some banana cluster on this soon. You can probably hear that rushing. That's the water. I'm trying to fill up the pond again. The waterfall was having issues where it was draining out. That and the Monstera was probably actively drinking it out. So we were losing about 7 to 10 gallons, I think, every 12 hours, something ridiculous. But hopefully that's remedied, so we're gonna pump more in there and see how long it holds and see if we can keep it doing its thing. But yeah, you can see there's been so many figs. A lot of them are just kind of dying on the branch because we just can't get to them. But right now it is also papaya season, so I'm gonna be grabbing some of those. And actually, this is our first official star fruit, and this isn't a bad sized one. This is I believe this is the Bell cultivar. Let me get over here real quick. Yeah, so in terms of I mean, that's a pretty reasonable sized star fruit if I can get this out of the way here. And it's pretty much ready there, so I'm gonna probably pull that in a little bit. You can see it's already got some more brackets on, more flowers. They're all over this thing, so it's ready. It's starting to sexualize and it can hold fruit, so this is pretty exciting. Got a bunch of citrus that are putting out flowers right now too. This is my Persian lime. It's been a rough time here. They get really picky if you don't fertilize them well enough, and you know the problem with these guys, they're in those raised bags. And you know, I think 6-7 years into doing this, I'm gonna swear off the felt bags. I think too much aeration is a bad thing, and it leads to a lot of other issues that I don't really like dealing with, like dry rot within your roots. They start to lose a lot of moisture pockets, and then that leads to a lot of other degradation. So it's just, yeah, I'd rather not. But needless to say, you know, we're still getting a bunch of fruit from these guys too. And you can see these Valencia oranges on this are doing really well. So the one in ground, doing phenomenal. Probably needs a little water uptick today. This is the one that's in the bag. You can see how much more it struggles. You see this leaf curl, it's having a lot of dry pockets. So it needs constant moisturization, constant mulching. I keep burming up the size. That doesn't seem to be doing even enough. So, you know, you take anything from this, stop using those felt bags. So those are Petite Negri figs, and most of them on the other side are starting to be ready. These guys probably with the end of the month. You can see some of them are already. I can pick some of them now, but they'll probably be mid September, I want to say. We're in the splash zone here with all the hose bringing down water. I'm letting it just drain out so we can allow a little better aeration of the system. And then once that's done, I'm probably gonna go ahead and turn the pump on and let it just do its thing. Yeah, I think down here needs a lot more love now. Now that the things are situated on the sides, we really need to focus on the ground species that are going to be in here. So what are going to be my vining species, what are going to be my rooting species, and my under canopy species to help maintain water retention, and other things. A lot of weird stuff to consider now. But it gets a lot drier in here, down below here, so things are greatly affected. Let's see. The other issue that I'm dealing with right now is kind of like right in front of us, is that catwalk. All the top layer of the first boards are rotting out. So I've been just kind of putting on some temporary layers right now. We'll walk around and kind of check that out. So these are longans. Again, some more plants that I got growing, and then these ones right there, those are all more canistels. So got about 8-10 of them. Those are popping now too. More longans over here. These are supposed to be another type of sapote. These are kaimitos, but they just are not playing. They don't really want to grow. I got something else in there. It looks like a outside tree, a redbud, but whatever. This is my Meyer lemon. It's looking kind of ratty. I got to cut it down, let it regrow from a stronger position. These are the Puerto Rican plantains. They're doing great. This is probably this upcoming year, maybe even the winter, they'll start a clutch. And then each one of these, they were born off the same corm, so they'll slowly have their own clutches as they go, so they're not on the same timetable, which is nice. One of the other trees that's really struggling is the sapote. You know, it's natural for it to kind of do a lot of this as it grows and climbs towards the best opportune locations for sunlight. But the ants are just non-stop on it. It's really a hassle. And the only ant maintenance I've been really doing is using like boric acid traps, but to my lack of benefit, I'm not consistent enough. Right, so this is the back area, right? Dragon fruit's starting to pop a little bit. See some of those petite negri figs. They're looking pretty good. Some are not. They're going too quick. So I got to be really a little more aggressive in here to claim them. But this is the area that we're trying to change out now. So there's a lot of different stuff planted here. There's this petite negri fig that's also kind of being acted as a border, but this is probably going to get chopped a bit down to make room more for the jasmine, more for the coffee. I got about 3 of them in there, maybe 4. Passion fruit. I'm gonna get this guy connected over here. There's what is that? Bird of prey, bird of paradise, not prey. An orange one, and then there's some avocado on the other side. We're gonna try to traverse this little dangerous section here so we can go to the other side. So take a look. You can see that's literally holes right through the initial board. So I'm just kind of balancing on an OSB. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't really feel like going all the way through there, but actually, dang, that cherimoya is worth it though. There's just so many orb weaver webs here. I just don't want to feel like moving them all. Do it in real time. You can tell I gotta do a little more moisturizing on this berm over here, but this is like a 2nd-year-old. To give you an idea, this is a cherimoya right here, and it's the same age as these cherimoyas right here. So these guys are really loving this space. This one has a hard time integrating. It's kind of wild. You see some of the old asparagus has popped through. And the only other thing here worth checking out, if I can creep over, not to kill these cherimoya. I gotta cut some of this mulberry in the way. But this right here is my black sapote. And that's doing pretty good. Oh, can you see here? And these are some longans. So these guys are about 3-4 years old. They're a little small for what they are, but you know, that's kind of typical for the climate that they're growing in. A lot of times you'll get dimorphism from climatic shifts and changes that they're just trying to deal with. But I really want to get over here and just kind of check out this orange tree. You see how big these are all mulberry. They just grow like weeds. So they'll grow like 2 times the size in a year, so I just keep chopping and dropping. Yeah, we got a good, decent amount of oranges, but you can see even on these really strong oranges, a lot of soot, and you see those spots on there, that is scale. So the ants are just really dominant in this area. And it really requires, you know, kind of like 5 point of attack on ants Gotta make sure you cover all the corners they're coming in. Don't leave any of them out. Consider all the species that they're working together with, meaning, you know, it's not just one colony of ants that you're probably dealing with. You're probably dealing with 2, 3, even 4, because there's a lot of mutualism with them. They're colonies. You'll have these big carpenter ants that will be security for the little Argentine ants, which do, you know, the honeydew. And you got maybe another one that's setting the actual aphids or the scale. There's a huge cohesive operation, and I'm really impressed and also annoyed that I have to fight them all the time, because they're really a lot better at their job than I am. And that's kind of the idea of these spaces, is especially with permaculture. Well, this isn't necessarily a permaculture. I mean, it is and it isn't. Is you want kind of cohesion, you want harmony, you want balance, you want things to do it on its own. You don't want to interact as much as you have to. So, any times that you find yourself having to interact a lot, you might be running into a problem that you're not aware of. Oh yeah, now I'm just rambling, so I don't know if I showed off enough. But we went all over the place, and those are kind of the issues. Some of the issues that I got coming up here, though, is going to be getting ready for winter. So I got to get the furnace primed, the stove, the pellet stove primed and ready. Make sure that everything is working on it optimally. You got to get insulation ready to get rolled out and put on top here. Grab that papaya leaf is bothering me when I was looking up here before. Big one up there. Yeah, those are kind of the issues that are going to be coming up, but I think last year was going to be the coldest that this system would have to work with. So now there's enough sediment and gravel around the perimeter. I think this thing is going to have a lot easier time surviving the next seasons than the prior ones. So hopefully that also means less fuel usage, and maybe I can still save up for a different type of fuel type, like a heat pump, but wasn't in the cards for this year. Also, pretty little bromeliad starting to flower. It's like a super magenta, like a hot pink, and then like these cute little fuchsia purple little blossoms on it. It's actually really sharp to the touch, like very prickly. Anyhow.